Ladies and gentlemen, his mission is to be a synergist on helping people discover and attain their true calling in life. So put your hands together for the incomparable Jonathan Dunn.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to make a small request to start out tonight. I want you to put your pens down, flip your phones over, turn your computers off. I'm going to ask that you be present with me as I do my 10th project for the next 10 minutes. A simple request. And I know right now, I'm going to break the ice a little bit, you're saying to yourself, there's no way this guy is going to come up on his 10th project and actually wear a prop from the Love Boat. But believe it or not, I actually engage in some pretty strange activities on a daily basis. And one of those things is I actually throw this hat on every day. And while my clientele finds it incredibly amusing, I can see my mother over there is very amused right now. It's actually a very symbolic message. No matter where you're at in your life right now, your life starts with you, it goes through you, and it finishes with you. You are the captain of your own life. Viktor Frankl, famed author, concentration camp survivor. He was the only one out of his entire family to survive. He left me with a quote that blows me away every time I read it. And it leads into tonight. Whatever is to give light in life must endure the process of burning. My fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, my family, the truth be told, I'm incredibly honored to be up here with you tonight. I mean, it's mind-blowing. And tonight, I'm going to inspire you, which for me, it means to breathe life into each and every one of you. So to accomplish that, I'm going to share with you 3 incredibly personal and painful stories of my own life. September 9th, 2009. It was 2 days before my birthday. My former wife, Melanie, pulled me aside to talk to me. I was thinking it must be a great day because she was actually talking to me. But what she was about to share with me was this. I'm leaving you. I'm taking the kids with me. The house is in foreclosure. I haven't paid it in 8 months. I've charged up $60,000 in credit card debt. I haven't paid my car payment in several months. And I'm leaving. And man, I didn't see it coming. I should have, but I didn't. And really, I thought things couldn't get any worse. But 2 days later, September 11th, 2009, they got way worse. I left for work at roughly 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got home at roughly 9:30, 9:45 at night. Notice how I didn't call it happy birthday. I came home, there was no cards, there was no hats, no presents, but this card. Big things come in incredibly small packages. And there was some food on the table with some saran wrap over it. I put the card where I was going to eat my meal, and I warmed up my chicken quesadillas. I pulled the saran wrap off as I sat down, and I read the beginning. Happy birthday, Dad. I took a bite. I opened the card up. There was a picture of cookies, Powerade Zero, and the beach. I started to feel an incredibly sinking stomach feeling. Because I realized at that very moment, my own daughter, who was 9 years old, knew me better than I knew her. Because I thought to be a dad just meant that I provided for her. I took a bite of quesadilla and I went to the next page. And it said, "You are the best dad in the world. We love you so much." I'm going to pass that around because what happened next was I fell to the ground. And I'd always said I believed in God, but I didn't really. My life didn't indicate that. And I cried, and I cried, and I cried. I mean, there was some pent-up stuff in there. And I prayed for a miracle. It was my come to Jesus moment. And I got up, and I gathered myself, and I went to bed. And over the next couple of weeks, signs started coming to me. And one of those signs was a word called passion. And I was indicated to look up what that meant, which I did through an author, Kevin Hall. And for those of you who don't know what passion means, it's not 50 Shades of Grey. It means find out what you really love in life, what you have a vision for, and you better get ready to suffer for it, because that's what passion means. And that's precisely what I did. I said, I got to get things straight with my children in my life. So I did. And I locked arms with a company that was going to help me get pulled out of debt. And 6 months later, life was looking a heck of a lot better. I'd gotten divorced. I was actually living with my mother and father. And I was just doing a heck of a lot of self-work. And being passionate about my children led me to the state of Utah, because I was working on a very large product launch. I had resolved myself to be completely alone for the rest of my life, because I didn't want to feel the hurt that I felt ever again. But God had a different idea for me. Because in Utah, in 2011, in October, I met that lady right over there. And I knew I wasn't meant to be alone. That I was meant to have a partner. And she had baggage, and I had a heck of a lot of baggage. And that's where one of the words that came to me when I was praying, I understood what needed to be done. And that word is humility. Something I had never been very good at. And the root word of humility is humus, which is the rich, dark, organic soil that is necessary for anything to grow. And she looked at me, and I looked at her, and we wanted to have a relationship that God would be proud of. So we decided that we needed to have humility and be coachable and teachable. That's what it means. That's what it means. And the interesting part, Steve Jobs gave a phenomenal speech about connecting the dots. And usually you can't do it looking forward. She was a massage therapist. She chose that profession because she wouldn't have to look at anybody in the face. It was easier to talk to them that way. I chose training because I had a very limited vernacular. Believe it or not, I know it's hard to comprehend right now. And all I had to do was yell at people all day. We realized that was an incredibly large hurdle to overcome, was both of our lack of ability to communicate. I heard about Toastmasters through Jeremy Udell. The dots really started getting connected. They had a program where you could become a competent communicator. So you now know the story. That's how I ended up here. Because I want to have a marriage more than anything that God will smile upon. And that leads me to the third word, because the very first day I came here, I gave a speech. And I got some amazing evaluations. But then I got to one that said, I can't believe you would wear jeans to a speech. I can't believe that you would untuck a shirt at a speech. You kind of look like an asshole. My old life, I would have went and punched him in the face. But instead, through all my self-work, I recognized something. God puts people in our lives at very precise moments. They are a reflection of something that is inside of us that needs to be brought to the surface. And I asked myself, what can I learn from this man? And I approached him with the third magical word that came to me when I was praying to God, and that's Genshai. And tonight, each and every one of you will start practicing that word, and that is never, ever talking to someone in a manner that will make them feel small. It is time that this club truly locks arms, practices those three words, helps everybody actually go where they really want to go in life, not just in here. Because it is our responsibility to make a dent in the universe It is our responsibility to not suck the life out of people, but it is our responsibility to inspire people to breathe life into one another.